10 Mothers Who Raised Murderers. Welcome to Creepshow, where we delve into the dark and unsettling corners of true crime. Today, we're exploring a chilling topic: the mothers who raised individuals that would go on to commit some of the most heinous crimes imaginable. What role did these women play in their children's lives, and could they have foreseen the path their children would take? In many cases, these mothers are left grappling with the aftermath, questioning what they could have done differently. Join us as we explore the stories of 10 mothers who, for better or worse, raised children who became notorious murderers. Number 10. Diana Amanda Chism. Diana Chism was somewhat wishy-washy under police interrogation regarding her son Philip. She started by stating he was a good kid, but changed her mind and said she thought he could snap since mental illness ran in his family. When he stabbed to murder and sexually assaulted his 24-year-old high school math teacher, he did in fact snap. Diana also agreed that although a mother sees indications of possible behavior their children could engage in, she does nothing. She claimed during her questioning that she could assist authorities in retrieving information from her son, but she backpedaled and asked he be granted legal counsel, as was his right. Though in retrospect everything is clearer, it appears she could have intervened when Philip started behaving strangely. She merely wants people to pray for her kid. She has publicly sorry to the victim's family. Number 9. Louise Bundy. You know Ted Bundy if you have any knowledge about serial murders. Though she has openly advocated her son's innocence for years, her mother Louise is not a name that is as readily known. Ted talked about all kinds of childhood trauma, some still unresolved, when he was inside. Other elements surfaced as reality. It's not hard to picture his thoughts veering slightly when he discovered early on that his sister was indeed his mother. She stood next to her son and was sure he was innocent until his death row confession, probably an attempt at postponing his execution. When he came clean about the crimes while awaiting his sentence, I suppose she felt very ridiculous. Number 8. Lori Knoble. Not every mother is as eager to believe their children or as understanding. For Lori Knoble, when her son told her he had killed someone, she almost passed out. Her son Jeffrey Knoble orally admitted to the horrific killing of his friend Andrew Beep, along with a picture of a nude and gory body. Unlike Louise, Lori did nothing to guard her son from law enforcement. She actually turned him into police herself. She then testified against him in front of courts, which surely contributed to determine his destiny. Jeffrey got a life without parole after being convicted guilty of first-degree murder. Is blood not thinner than water? Not in Lori's case, however. I doubt anyone would hold her responsible. Number 7. Kathleen Dennehy. Kathleen is happy her serial killer daughter is behind bars, as she knew her once sweet and loving child was gone. Joanna Dennehy is serving life in prison after conviction of multiple charges of murder. It's unfortunate the defense couldn't bring them in to testify in favor of Joanna. Kathleen said Joanna grew up a calm and sympathetic girl that loved all life and would even become offended if she unintentionally walked on bugs. But things started to go awry somewhere along the road. Kathleen's daughter, 30 years old, went on a gory killing rampage, leaving 3 male victims in her path. 2 more persons were attacked, but fortunately survived. Fascinatingly enough, Joanna claimed to have targeted men, especially since she could never harm a woman, particularly one with children. Joanna's aggressiveness was driven by drugs and other deviant activities, therefore upsetting her mother. But Joanna's mental illness, which she was later diagnosed with, including psychopathic and antisocial disorders, probably had the major role. Kathleen really feels that the person her daughter formerly was no more exists, and it's yet unknown exactly when things went wrong. Number 6. Rosita Donaldson. Discussing grabbing one for the team. Trying to keep her son Howell Emmanuel Donaldson III safe, Rosita spent 4 months under house arrest. She was found in contempt until she cooperated after declining to answer prosecutors' inquiries about Howell. She and her husband eventually provided the police with the information they were searching for, and Howell was taken under custody for killing 4 persons. She and her husband could not indeed offer an alibi for Howell during the murders. She also objected to his insanity plea, contending that mental disease had no past. She did her utmost to shield her son, but finally the truth prevailed, as it usually does. Still, Rosita and her husband remained by their son, trying to assist him negotiate life behind bars, a challenge for his mental health. Number 5. Lillian Graham. Lillian Graham waited with her son Harrison for the police so he could turn himself in following a 7-day manhunt. The offenses are 7 counts of murder, followed after the discovery of several victims in his flat, some of which were in parts. Lillian swears behind her son's innocence and even begged the sentencing judge to spare Harrison's life, even though she was with him when he was brought into prison. She still wants just for her son to be free and rejects his culpability in the counts of strangling the women to death. Originally sentenced to death, he soon after received a life in prison sentence. Lillian can be in denial that her own child could do such a thing, or she could really feel her son is innocent. Number 4. Regina Tague. Though she passed away in 2017, Regina herself is not well known, but she also raised a man who killed 7 people. Sometimes early in childhood, a head injury causes otherwise normal children to start exhibiting personality changes leading to aggression. In this instance, one wonders, yet there is not evidence of such. She participated in a wrongful death lawsuit one of the victim's family members started before to her passing. Todd Kohlhepp entered a guilty plea to all counts and received a 7 straight life term, therefore adding insult to injury a new meaning. It could be a gift Regina missed, not seeing the result. She would not have been able to accept the truth of her monster of a child or the sentence. Number 3. Joyce Flint. Not much has to be said about the infamous Jeffrey Dahmer that is not previously known about. He killed as many men, therefore earning 17 life terms. But a fellow prisoner felt the death sentence would be a better choice and killed him in 1994. The lady who looked after Jeffrey is Joyce Flint. May of 1960 saw her deliver him. Before a hernia operation at age 4, he was reportedly a normal, content child. He grew aloof following the surgery. It is thought that the operation contributed to his mental break that resulted in his becoming a killer. Strangely enough, a custody dispute between Joyce and Jeffrey's father emerged after his unexpected death. For what would you like to know? Indeed, his brain is right. While the father wanted the brain destroyed, Joyce battled to have it kept whole for scientific needs at Jeffrey's will's request. Jeffrey's wishes were finally followed, and the ashes distributed between the parents. Finding whether any physiological elements of Jeffrey's brain had contributed to his actions could have been really fascinating. Like the lick count to the middle of a Tootsie Pop, the world will never know. Number 2. Amy Roof. When her child's misbehavior came to light, this mother truly had a broken heart. After their Bible study, her son Dylan shot and killed 9 people inside a church. Amy found the mass murder intolerable as it was racially driven. She dropped in the courtroom and kept apologizing for the incident. She discovered she had a heart attack at the hospital. Although Amy's position on her son's case is not quite clear-cut, she has been heard advised to acquire a strong defense team and act honorably in court. Conversely, Dylan seemed to mock the proceedings and was overheard laughing about the prospect of a death sentence. According to him, his primary drive for the killings was wanting to start a racial conflict. Amy reportedly struggles between wanting to help her son and feeling ashamed of his behavior. Number 1. Sue Klebold. Sue Klebold, maybe the most well-known mother on this list, has had dozens of interviews. Apart from having 2 novels penned on her, she also authored a memoir personally after the catastrophe. She has come clean about missing all the cues that finally lead her son Dylan to carry out one of the most infamous mass murders to date. Dylan made history killing 15 people in the Columbine High School shooting alongside his friend. Dylan appeared like a lovely child growing up, but his conduct altered in high school. Sue has lately turned into a champion of suicide prevention. Her memoir's revenues are all donated to organizations. Sue wants to avoid the same circumstances from resurfacing since she spends her days thinking what she could have done better. And the last, Kathy Grieveson. Although the love a mother can have for her child is difficult to truly grasp, Kathy may have pushed hers to a new level. She talks of her son Stephen in an appealing manner even after he was found guilty of strangling and burning 3 teenage guys. He apparently was and still is a mama's boy. She said his crimes were only him engaging in mischief. I disagree with her interpretation of what mischief entails. While standing by one's child is expected, Stephen is a man only his mother could love, completely disputing the information given during a trial. Though Kathy won't stop supporting her child, her denial is a slap in the face to the family of her son's victims. Thank you for watching Creepshow, where we shine a light on the darkest aspects of human nature. If you found this exploration of the mothers behind the murderers intriguing, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more chilling tales. Share your thoughts in the comments below. What do you think about the influence of a mother's upbringing on a child's actions? Until next time, stay curious and stay safe.